Hi, welcome to Momentum Monday. I'm Dana Middleton, your host here at the Aligned Artist, at the Facebook group, at YouTube, at Instagram. I hope that you'll, come and comment and be part of the community because it's a really nice, safe, supportive place. All right, today we're going to be talking about approval, self-approval, approval of being an artist, approving of your creative career. Now, I know that I've talked about this before, and if you're new to the group, then this may be new to you. But if not, let's go for a refresher. Now, when we talk about approval, we're really talking about getting into the flow of who you are. And we do that through self-approval. This is something Louise Hay, if you've ever read You Can Heal Your Life. If you haven't read it, read it. If you've read it before, she talks about this idea of self-approval, that, she would say to herself 500 times a day, I approve of myself, because we get so many messages starting so early about who we're not supposed to be, and you did it wrong. And, we just build up this self-judgment that can come with us into so many areas of our lives. We're going to talk about some of those areas before we tap today. But the first area is being a creative artist. Regardless of what you do, you may not completely be approving of it. Now, I'm not talking about consciously. If you have chosen to be a professional artist, I'm sure that consciously you think you approve of being an artist. I know I did for a very long time. And on some energetic level, though, I wasn't, because I had a parent who did not approve of it. So one of our survival strategies as a young kid is to agree with that dominant parent or that critical parent. And then what happens is, we're bringing in mixed energy, because even though we think we aren't, we may be rebelling, but rebelling is really just the opposite side of the coin of pleasing. That's a whole other conversation. But when we are rebelling, we're not really separating. We're still connected in a way that may not be healthy. So think about it. If you're stuck or frustrated, thanks for the heart. If you're stuck or frustrated, it may be a sign that you're not fully, energetically, subconsciously approving of being an actor, writer, director, whatever, filmmaker, whatever you are. If that's the case, come tap with me. Let's check it out. Okay. So take a look at your career. Are you where you want to be? How do you feel about it? For me, I'm telling you, it was 20 years of being stuck and frustrated until I landed upon this and went, oh my God, I'm not approving of this. And I started changing this through tapping my mindset around my self-approval, and things changed very much for me as a writer. I really think this was the key to allowing my creative career to get into gear. It was surprising. I didn't know it. So I'm here to teach you the shortcuts that I learned the long way. And, that's the way it is, I guess. But, where are you on this self-approval scale? Think about it. Where are you in this? And a few questions you can ask yourself can help you understand that. One, for instance, what do your parents think about people being professional artists? Do they think it's a good idea, or do they think it's not very smart? All right. Sometimes, like I said, we pull in what our parents believe or our family members believe into our belief system, and it creates that mixed energy. And when we're not fully aligned with something and we have that mixed energy, we aren't moving like we want to. Another one is, do you think it's responsible to be an artist? Now, that to me sounded ridiculous. It's responsible to be an artist, but what if it is? What if it could be? What if it could be a responsible life choice? But no one has ever said that to you before. So I'm going to suggest that if you don't believe it's a responsible choice, let's make it a responsible choice. And again, this is a mindset trick. I'm here to help you with your mindset so you can go out in the world and be the most effective professional artist you can be in the world, because that's part of it. It's not just doing the thing that we love. It's about taking it into the world and letting it be seen, letting us be seen, letting us be in that flow. That's where it gets really fun, And do you really think that this is going to work? Or do you have a plan B that you're really counting on? Now, I have no problem with the plan B. I have no problem if you're a hobbyist with your creativity. It does not matter. What matters is, what do you want? And if you really are invested in your creative career, but you're like, nah, it can't work because that's what you heard. That's the tape running in your head, right? You're going to think that, oh yeah, but if I get a real job, then I'll be able to make money, take care of myself, and everyone around me will approve of it. So I can too. So this is all about just investigation. What do you really think? What are you really thinking about this choice to be an artist? I mean, I'm not saying it's a choice necessarily, but the choice maybe to be a professional artist can be a choice. So what does that really feel like for you? And we're going to tap in a minute and kind of air some of maybe what I call the rebuttals, or the things that the beliefs that don't serve us. We're going to tap them out so they're not quite so charged and working within us, working in a way we may not want them to work. Also, what would it feel like if you truly believed in your life choice of being a professional artist? What would that feel like? Would it feel weird, like you're rocking the boat because nobody else gets it? Or would it feel good because, oh, wow, I'm actually plugging into my own power and believing in myself in a new way? That can feel great, and that can get things moving. So self-approval can transform all areas of our lives. We think erroneously, I think, that, and we're taught that if we don't approve of something, then it'll change. A good example of this is like weight. Let's say that you're carrying some extra pounds, and and maybe a parent or somebody gave you a hard time or didn't approve of that, so you don't approve of that, and you think, if I can just be very self-judgmental and mean to myself, I will change. That if I approved of it, then I'll just let it stay the same. And I think we think that somehow the self-approval means that I'm not going to change, that I'm just going to be okay with this way that I'm not really okay with. But the actual opposite is true. When you start to approve of how you are now, how things are now, and like love yourself now, things open up. It's like a log jam that can start to open up and get some space. And maybe it can transform in that mindset and in that kind of incubator of love so much easier than in the incubator of hate and judgment and self-judgment that many of us experience at different times of our lives. So think about it. When somebody really wants you to change and they're not kind about it, they're judgmental about it, how easily do you change? Not very easily. Kind of, it's like, screw you, I'm not changing. So think about that for yourself. If you approve of something, what, even debt or finances that may not be where you want them to be. Or what else do I have? Partner. Maybe you have a partner who, isn't exactly what the family thought you should, have. What if you approve of all of it anyway? It's your life. Approve of your life. And as you do, even the warts, approve of it, and it will relax. Everything will relax a little bit, giving it space to change. So think about this. I have little notes. I'm changing my card. Think about it. Let me know in the comments, what's the thing that you just can't approve of? That's like, oh my gosh, I can't approve of that though, Dana. Are you crazy? Well, yeah, I am, in this way, because I really see this power of self-approval and how it can change things. It really can change things for the better. All right, so let's do some tapping, because that's where we move this energy. And what I'd like to do is just tap around this feeling, especially related to our creative careers. Thank you, crazy like a fox. Especially as it relates to our creative careers. But if there's something else in your life that you're not approving of, change it for yourself, fill in the blank, make my general tap to something more specific for you. That's why I'm doing this here, just to help us all create more space to see something differently. Because once we see it differently, right, we can do it differently. We can allow things to be easier. And that's what this is all about here. All right, so take a breath. Think about your creative career. Is there somebody in your life who doesn't approve of it? Maybe you've got a little bit of that going on in you. And let's start tapping. So we're going to tap. If you haven't tapped before, just tap with me. We're going to tap on meridian points, say the ugly, ugly. And as we do, like with acupressure or acupuncture, we're breaking up old energy. So just repeat after me. We're going to acknowledge first what's going on. Even though I cannot approve of this because my parent does not approve of this, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I learned to be really hard on myself, especially when things aren't working. What if I could be a little kinder today? Even though I think I approve of my creative career, but I also feel stuck. What if I'm just willing to investigate this and see what's really going on inside? Okay, so now we're going to go up to the eyebrow point, use these fingers, one side of the face, both sides, and just go around with me and repeat after me. I want to approve of my creative career, but my parent didn't. I have friends or maybe partners who don't particularly believe in what I'm doing. And that's hard for me because I believe in this so much. But when they voice their disapproval, a part of me, it triggers my doubt. Their disapproval triggers my doubt. Makes me feel like I've made the wrong decision. I'm doing it wrong. I wish I had more evidence to show them that I've done it right. It's hard to believe when I don't have a lot of external evidence saying I'm doing the right thing. If I could just book that role or sell that screenplay, they'd believe. And maybe a part of me would believe more too. But I'm at the place in my career where I have to believe in myself first. Even before the fruits of my labor are really shown to me. Take a breath. If you're yawning, breathing, that's a good sign. What if I'm not fully approving of being an artist? What if that's gotten me stuck? What if I've been agreeing with those other people, but it's not working for me? What would happen if I started to approve of myself, even when they don't? I am willing to approve of being an artist. Take a breath. I am willing to approve of my life choice to be a creative professional. And I am willing to let it work for me. Just because they don't get it doesn't mean that I have to agree with them. It's time to agree with me. To air out any doubts, any fears, and double down on my choices. Even if I don't have proper evidence yet that this is a good choice, what if it just starts with me approving of me in absolutely every possible way? And let self-approval be a tool that really works for me. Okay, take a yawn, take a stretch. How does that feel? All right. Yeah, let me know in the comments whether you're watching live on the replay. How's that going? This was a short tap. So I'm going to give you another exercise you can do here that will be really helpful is get out a journal, piece of paper. I don't care. Oh, that's great. Hey, oh gosh, good. Great to see you. Great to see you, Amy. Yes, I needed that too. It's a good reminder. It's just to go back to the self-approval, because whatever we approve of flows and grows. So why not sprinkle that fairy dust on our creative careers? So if you want to take this further, do some journaling. Write down what does that parent or that person, think about the choice to be an artist, and you'll get a lot of stuff. So write it all down and then go back and tap it. Be like, it doesn't matter if you miss points or whatever. Go to my website, thealignedartist.com. I have a graphic there to remind you, but it doesn't matter. Just tap on any of the meridian points and read back what you wrote. Because when you tap and say that ugly, that belief that just is gross, you're breaking it up, you're letting it go, you're dissolving it. And that is really the start of how tapping can transform your life. I do this because it has really worked for me, and it continues to work for me. It continues to help me expand and move into just greater enjoyment of all parts of my life, but especially my creative career. So let me know if this works. Yeah. Oh, good. A helpful refresher. I'm so glad to hear that. And y'all, coming up, I'll be back with a Momentum Monday on August 1st, which is obviously a Monday. And August is going to be all about plugging into our power. This is such a big subject that I've been working on personally lately. And I just can't wait to share it with you. I'm going to be talking about it in my blog post. If you haven't joined the mailing list yet, you can do that at thealignedartist.com. Please join me on August 1st, where we're going to be doing more tapping. Let me know how this goes. If you have any questions, need support, I'm certainly here to do it. All right, you've done it. Happy Monday. I'm so glad you showed up today. See how this goes, and even if it's not with your creative career, it may be another area where you want to put in a little self-approval and see how that makes you feel. See how that can transform a situation that has perhaps felt sticky. All right. Have a wonderful week. I'm so glad you're here, and I will see you on the 1st. Bye, guys.